So, okay, so let's just go ahead and make it to the mat. And I'm gonna start here by just taking a second to curl up my toes a few times. So pull your 10 toes off of the floor, letting them curl, just getting a little blood flow into your feet. And from there, see if you can spread your toes all the way out. Good. So your dedos moviendo afuera. Good. And then try lifting the heel and then lifting the other heel. And feel a little firmness as the navel begins to pull in, the tailbone's dropping down. Then you're letting your legs move in opposition here. Good. All right, so now let's just pause for a second and lift one foot up, just checking in with balance this morning. Set that foot down, see if you can pick up, peel, subiendo otro pie y ahora abajo. So pushing through the floor and coming right back up. Good, sending the heel down, 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 and then up. Good. And then we're gonna exhale, set both feet into the floor. Now kind of roll balls to heels. So just becoming alert from the bottom up. Good. Let's bring our hands to our hips now. Move your thighs back and let the sternum extend forward. Let's inhale, add your arms into that movement so they'll float down and out. Just creating a little openness. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Let's reverse that action so the arms will float down through the center while you're lowering. Good. Just getting a little blood flow through the legs, through the arms. Good. All right. And then we're going to pause, move the hands onto the thighs, let the sternum stretch up, and then let the sternum around. So you'll make a little space in between your shoulder blades. Go ahead, slide the hands in between the two thighs and pull the thighs into the hands and let the shoulder blades separate. And then from there, I'm going to inhale, take that up. Let one arm stretch towards my body, one arm overhead. Inhale and exhale, stretching over. Good. Now let's bring two palms together. Inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, let the heels lift as the elbows float into your sides. We'll try this a few times. Again, feeling yourself kind of through your feet, letting the ankles float above the balls of the feet, feeling the tailbone still anchored in space through the strength in your glutes. Good. And now leave the heels down, take the arms up, take a gaze up to your thumbs. Estirando, so feeling yourself stretch el torso, adelante, the front part of your torso. And then we're going to pull an elbow down to the opposite thigh, stretch, reach, pulling up, opposite elbow to your thigh. Good. Try to keep your kneecaps parallel. So rodillas paralelas mientras está girando while you're twisting. Keep the kneecaps parallel and let the hips and the thighs, muslos y la cadera mueven atrás. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. And from here, we'll go ahead, take the arms all the way back up. Now move the hands behind the head and let the head stretch back. Bueno, la cabeza está moviendo atrás. And you're going to move the thoracic spine, your shoulder blade, los omoplatos, adentro. Good. Standing tall for a moment. Now float the arms out wide. Sweep the hands back behind you. Pull opposite hand to elbow. And then stretch out over the legs. So you lift through the backs of the legs here. Good. A big stretch. So you can press arms and legs into one another to get a little bit more vertical through your thighs, through the shins. Good. And then we're going to inhale, bring all of that up, and then step your feet a little bit wider. Let's go ahead, and kind of lightly move weight into one foot then the other. So kind of finding yourself in a toe ball heel, peeling the foot from the floor, heel ball toe. Good. So again, we're always paying attention to where that connection is. Good. Moving the weight through your feet. Good. And then let's go ahead and just get your center of gravity down low, and then one heel, then the other. Good. And then a ball of the foot, other ball of the foot. And then let's send the thighs back, open arms and chest, and we'll reach back to 3, coming up to 3, letting the arms open, back to 3, and up to 3, moving back to 3, and up to 3, back to 3, up to 3. Good. Let's hold the arms up. Sweep one arm to the side, one arm underneath you. Inhale nice and tall, one arm overhead, one arm underneath. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then let's make this a full circle. So you'll come with that top arm, sweep, and then change positions here as you float up on the other side. Trying that again. Go really slow. See if you can articulate that space in the shoulder blades, haciendo espacio entre los omoplatos y la columna. And then from here, we're going to take arms wide, thighs back and down. Let's exhale, close. Arms wide, thighs back and down. Inhale and exhale down low. Inhale and exhale, reaching back. Good. One more time. Inhale. And then let's just slowly, slowly, slowly rise up from the floor. Pivot in your feet. So now we've turned towards the right. And you can keep your back knee bent. And I want us to just lightly lift and lower up from the floor. So feeling those points of contact. Down to 3, head right above the tail. So you lift and lower. Good. You could even put 2 hands for a moment on your head. Good. Exhale, pivot through the feet. Find yourself facing the other side. Same thing, the back knee is going to bend right under the hip. And you can walk your front foot out just a little bit to make sure your bend, keep it small. Feeling the thigh bone, staying vertical, a little bit of work in the hip flexor, and a lot of work in the glute. Good. And then from here, we're going to exhale. Step your feet together at the top of the mat. This is my right side facing la pantalla, hacia la pantalla. And we're just going to rock the weight through the feet, lado y lado, lado y lado, lado y lado. Muy bien. And then from here, arms come, we stretch up, take your gaze up to your pulgares. And then exhale, take your hands down. And I've got my hands just on the outsides of my 2 feet. I'm going to lift and lower the top of my head. And again, use the curling up of my head to stretch my upper back. So the chin is going to move all the way in and up, and that's going to give me a big stretch in the upper back. And I'm going to release that. And now look all the way up. And extend my right leg back behind me. Extend my left leg to meet the right. So I'm in a plank pose, reaching out through the heels, down through the tailbone, up through the belly, up through the sternum. And then let's exhale, lift. Balls of the feet spreading out. Good. Everybody get soft with the knees for a moment. Move your tailbone down and up. Good. So you're again creating some release here in the low back. From here, go ahead with the tailbone lifted. Now reach the heels away from the toes. So space is being made through the bottoms of the feet and through the backs of the legs and from the head to the tailbone. So now let's go ahead, raise the right leg up from here, bend the knee, And then vamos a colocar, you're going to place your foot detrás del mano derecho. So you're going to place your foot behind your right hand and then send your left back heel for a moment into the floor. So when I lift, I'm going to pull the sits bone towards my back heel to bring myself up. Good. Arms floating up, finding a big stretch here. Lifting through the back of my leg. Opposite elbow pulls towards the thigh. And I'll stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. Inhale, I'm going to push through the feet once again, bringing myself all the way up. And then I'll take opposite hand to the outside of my foot. Parivrita Trikonasana. Good. And then I'm going to bend the front knee, straighten my back knee, and take the top arm for a moment over my ear. You could even take the hand, maybe behind the head. And stretch, stretch, stretch. Good. So when you feel ready, place two hands down. Your right toes, turn them towards your back toes, and we'll play peekaboo con la pantalla. So you'll play a little peekaboo here with your screen. I'm turning back the other way. I'm going to look now. These are my left toes. I'm going to look towards them, turn those toes out, and step my back foot in. Inhale, find myself standing on the other side of the mat. So now let the fingers come together, los dedos juntos, your rib cage in, your tailbone down. Bueno, con una columna muy larga, so finding a long spine, and then vamos a doblar el cuerpo. You're going to fold the body. Look down here at your hands for a moment. Looking at your toes, can you spread them out? And then move the chin in so it comes up towards your sternum and really again stretch the back of the neck. Wherever we have that tension lurking. And then vamos a mirar arriba. You look all the way up, bend in your knees, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, and then reach your weight out into the heels. And again, if your tailbone's up, we'll pull the tailbone down and pull the navel in and extend the sternum out. So find that firmness through the arms. Inhale. And then let's exhale. Lift the hips up, pushing back to the arms and spreading through the toes. So again, big toe base joints anchor into the floor. And you can soften the knees right under the hips. And then from there, move your tailbone down and up, scooping into your center. Beautiful. And then let's use an exhale to lift the left leg as you reach your right leg, that right heel down towards the floor, leg comes up. And then exhale, place the foot behind the hand, turn the heel in, spread out through the toes, push through that to lift into warrior one. Good. So use the stretch of the arms back to open your torso para abrir un poco más por el torso, por la cadera. Good. And then we're going to take codo apuesto, so your opposite elbow hacia el muslo towards the thigh. Good. Breathing here, lifting this back thigh up, pulling this right sitting bone towards the heel. Good. And then we're going to take one hand just for a moment to your ankle, straightening that knee. Trikonasana, Parivrita Trikonasana. Good. And then from here, we're just going to bend this knee, take the top arm over the ear, scoop up through the bottom rib cage, pull down through the top ribs, and breathe. Good. We'll let that hand come down. Looking at your left toes for a moment, pull them inward. So now we've got your 10 toes turned slightly in. Once again, a little Padottanasana. Good. I'm going to look back at my right toes and then bring my 2 feet together. Opposite hand and elbow with the knees bent. Releasing in your neck. Pushing down with the feet. We'll exhale, bring ourselves all the way
back up. So now, again, just walking in to face the front of the mat. Arms up, fingers up, and then sternum opens wide. We'll place our hands on the floor, step it back left and right. Here we are in a little plank pose. Good. You can let one knee tap in, the opposite knee tap in. Raise one foot, raise the other foot. So just feeling yourself lively through the back of you in that plank. Inhale, the pelvis comes up. And now the left leg's gonna lift. We're gonna bend the knee and open it. Open it back behind you so you get a big stretch through your psoas. Good. And then everybody create length through the inner thigh by pressing the heel and the big toe base joint of the right leg and hugging the femur bone up on that supporting leg. Let's place the left foot behind the hand, turn the toes out, spiral up. Good. Maybe there's a roll in your shoulders here. Good. And maybe a roll in the shoulders the other way. Good. And now we're in a warrior two. Let's take your wrists down and up. Make sure you feel this kneecap opening towards the short edge of the mat. El borde más chiquito. And then exhale, vamos a estirar lejos de la rodilla doblada. So you're going to stretch away from your bent leg. Oh, and let that whole side of you open up. Inhale back through center. And then exhale, stretch towards hacia la pierna doblada. So you're now stretching towards your bent knee. Good. And then right back up. And let's slide your fingers, this bent leg down, abajo, abajo, finding un poco trikonasana. So this is a triangle pose. Good. From your triangle pose, you can bend until this knee comes under your shoulder. Top arm up and over, gaze can move to that hand. Good. And then we're going to place, colocarnos la mano encima en la cadera. Pull the back foot in. Walk your left hand out just a little bit and we'll try for Ardha Chandrasana. Good. So up through the inner thigh and outer hip. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then as you feel ready, set the back foot down, spiraling up. This time we'll take a Padottanasana facing forward. Hands can move to the outsides of the ankles, fold at the elbows. Move the elbows kind of towards the screen. And again, just trying to free up your neck and shoulders. Haciendo más libre tu cuello, tus hombros, todo eso. So you're letting gravity and el peso de la cabeza están estirando el cuello. Good. So now we'll inhale. Come up. I'm going to turn towards my right toes and step in towards that side of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Brazos en el aire. When the arms come up, the ribs move in. Hold on to those sensations and then vamos a bajar. You'll lower down. Miramos arriba. You'll look up. Exhale, stepping your feet back. We'll go derecha y ahora izquierda. Holding for a moment in a plank pose, checking the position of your tailbone. So maybe it comes up and then you move it down under the ribs. Good. Let one knee tap the floor. Otro rodilla. So you lower the knee without dropping the hip. One leg lifts. Other leg lifts. Just feeling yourself connected. Exhale. La pelvis en el aire. Push and lift. Take your tailbone down, down, down. I'm sorry, when I said down, I meant up. Take your heels. Arriba, ahí en abajo. All right. Right leg lifts. Doblamos la rodilla. Abrimos. Open, open, open. And then from here, we're going to colocamos el pie detrás de la mano. So you're going to take your right foot behind your right hand. Push through the feet to spiral up. Once again, in your warrior two, create some circles here. Estamos haciendo círculos por las muñecas. Good. And then let it circle out the other way, especially those of us who have to teclar y teclar y teclar todo el día. You got a lot of typing to do later. Stretch, reach out through your fingers and your hands. Good. Vamos a estirar hacia la pierna larga. So you're going to stretch towards your long leg. Good. And let yourself just kind of release here. Inhale, arriba. And then let yourself estirar hacia la rodilla doblada. So you're going to stretch towards your bent leg. Power up this femur bone by pushing deeply through the foot. So as you're coming over, you really feel those muscles. They're having to work a little harder to hold your torso up. Muy bien. Desde aquí. So now from here, we're just going to let this hand slide down the inner thigh mientras estamos estirando. Good. So while you're lengthening that leg, beautiful. Taking Trikonasana for a moment. Notice if your hips went back and your head forward. Vamos a ver si podemos mover la cadera adelante y la cabeza un poco atrás. So you're going to see if you can move your hips a little forward and your head a little back. Desde aquí, so from here, doblamos la rodilla otra vez. You bend and you once again take the top arm, overhead stretch. Feel your gaze, find your meñique, find your gaze at your pinky toe or your pinky finger. Muy bien. Good. Now this top hand to the hip. Step the back foot in, 2 feet. Walk your right hand out, la mano derecha, like 1 foot, and then subimos. Lift your pierna izquierda. Arriba, arriba. Good. So feeling yourself just floating, the torso floating and extending out, the back leg floating, extending out. Elegant work here through your right leg. El trabajo elegante. Good. So now we'll set the back foot down. Push through the feet. Turn to face in. And everybody create now just a little sweep through your tailbone. So circulando, circulando, relajando la cadera. Good. All right. And then you can walk your feet in a little bit. Let's move your tailbone all the way down. Undulate the spine and pull yourself back up. So we're going to go find that S curve of the spine. So visualize as you move, tailbone coming underneath you, that force helping you lift. Good, 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 good. All right, so then let's move our weight back right and left through your feet, por los pies. Good. So now see if you can catch your weight on so I'm on my right side and just hold for a moment. And then we're gonna rock, rock, hold, weight on the other side. Play this game with me a few times. So rock, rock, hold, then rock, rock, hold, rock, rock, hold, rock, rock, hold. Good. All right. And then let's try first a parallel balance. So I'm going to pull my left foot up, take my hands under the thigh, drop the thigh into my hands, and then pull this back thigh up and away from my front thigh. So respirando profundamente. And then if you like, un brazo afuera, otro brazo afuera. And then you can extend la pierna. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doblamos all of that. Rock, rock, hold. Rock, rock, hold. Rock, rock, hold. Rock, rock, hold. So now we're going to lift the opposite leg. I'm going to set my left leg down, pick up my right. Thigh moves into my hands. Extend the leg. Pull the opposite thigh back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Exhale. Extend the arms. Extend the leg if you like. Then set it all down gently. Once again, rock, rock, hold. rock, rock, hold. Good. So now moving, I'm just going to move back to the short edge and then step. This is my right foot moving into the center. Arms are going to move up, sweep back behind me. Reach my fingertips away so I feel the chest open. Catch the weight in my front leg, hand to ankle, opposite arm reaches up. And we'll pull in at the front of the rib cage. Good. Good. And release the two arms. Set the leg down, rock, rock, hold, rock, rock, hold. Finding that balance. Good. So now I'm going to set this left foot down, center of the mat, take my back toes, my right toes now back behind me. Bend in the knee, hand to the ankle, opposite arm up, stretch, 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 finding length. Good. Perhaps now two arms. Good. Really waking up the hamstring. And then exhale, setting all of that down. And again, just rocking your body, seeing if you can hold the weight on one side, rock the body. Good. So now, once again, I'll set weight into my right leg. Pick up my left heel, open. Place the foot now in the hip crease or just on the thigh of my supporting leg. So that foot is going to help move the thigh back. I'm just going to breathe here for a moment. If it feels comfortable then to float some weight down. You can experiment with that. And your head can come down. We'll shake the head now. Just a couple of times looking down, looking up. And then from here you can push weight into your foot as you feel yourself just rise back up. Unfold the leg, rock the weight. See if you can hold on one side. Good. So we want to build balance, la práctica del equilibrio into your nervous system, el sistema de nervios, right? You want to feel that you're just creating balance, right? A sense of how to balance when, where, what to use. So let's now gather some weight on the left leg and pull the right foot up into the hip crease or just foot to the thigh. Press the thigh and the foot together, feeling this hip release. And then vamos a bajar. We're going to lower down. See about letting the hands connect with the floor. Letting your head relax, release as you lower. And then when you feel ready, so for me, this side, my left arch is always tricky. So you're going to just talk gently to that arch. Can you be more connected to the floor? Can you hold my heel and the ball of the foot? Exhale, extend the leg. Relax, release, release. So now we're going to turn once again towards this is my right leg, forward. And practice again this rock back. So help you on the dance floor too whenever we can two-step again. A little rock step, rock step, rock step, rock step, rock step, rock step. Good. So then hold your weight there in the right leg. Sweep the hands to your low back. Feel the low back long and even as you pick up your left leg and float your sternum out. Breathe. Just be there with a long low back. Good. Set that foot down gently. Pivot in the feet. Rock step. Other side. Rock and back. Rock. Back. Rock. Back. Rock and back. Waking up the toes, the balls of the feet. Arches. Through this rocking. Good. And then from here, hold the weight in that front foot. Sweep the hands to the low back. Pull the navel up towards your low back. And then begin to lift that back leg as you extend the sternum, the torso forward. And then we're just going to lightly step that foot back and down and move your weight into the center of the mat. And then just lightly circle everything. So arms, shoulders, elbows, neck. I'm going to talk to all of those parts of your body up here and shake it out. Okay, let's put our blankets now in the center of the mat. And I'm going to turn so that my right side faces in. And I'm going to come just set for a moment my two knees down. Let my hands once again move to the low back. And then lift my sternum up as I pull my tailbone down. Good. Let's exhale. Now lift the sternum and tailbone up as you take the top of the head down. Good. Let's inhale. See now. So you could leave your hands at the low back, or you could take your hands a little bit lower, maybe hands to the heels, and let the head release back. Ustrasana. And then pushing into the feet, bring yourself all the way back up. Good. We'll take our forearms now to the floor for a moment. And I'm going to reach my right leg, reach my left leg back, and slowly set my hips into the floor. Press down through the hands. Move the chin over the right shoulder. Come lower the head in between the two hands. And push back, chin over the opposite shoulder. Inhale, let's lower down. Take your two hands together and make a little rest for your head, and then just rock the legs forward and back, just a kicking little action again. Staying alive through the backs of the legs here. Good. And then let's pause with your right leg long and the left leg bent, and then lift that up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs, kicking again, right and left and right and left, right and left. And now we're going to pause with the right leg bent and the left leg long. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to that right and left movement through the legs. Good. And then let's hold two legs long, lift and lower. 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Rocking out the back side to side so let the hips just release. Here, one bone, then the other into the floor. Then we'll lift the two legs, bend the knees, take your hands to your ankles if you like, and let the chest and sternum float up. If it feels nice to roll the weight to the right side, you can try that. Good. Inhale, passing through the center. Exhale, rolling your weight to the other side. Inhale, moving through the center. Extend the two legs, extend the two arms out. Shalabhasana. Good. And then I'm going to take my left arm underneath me and take my top leg up in the air. I'm going to roll this leg out and in just a few times. Good. And then hold that external rotation of the leg. Press my bottom foot into the floor. Perhaps the hand and foot come together here. Big stretch through the hip. Good. And then from here, I'm going to bend this knee, take the foot forward, opposite hand. So that top hand's going to reach, or I'm sorry, this is my bottom hand reaching towards my top foot, and then the opposite here. Bending this knee, stretching through to the IT band, letting your chest open, releasing the neck. Beautiful. So then let's fold at the knees and bring ourselves up. Finding this on the other side. So now I'm going to just rest for a moment on this side. The top leg lift. And then again, work the inner and outer rotation of the leg. So you're turning the leg in and out in space. Feeling that connection to the inner thigh, el muslo aquí, y la cadera atrás, that outer hip. Good. So now hold that external rotation as you push the bottom leg down. Take the hand to the foot, stretch. Good. So we're both finding that stability through the pelvis and the bottom leg, and then a lot of freedom in the top leg. Good. So let's just gently set the top leg down, and then take your bottom hand to the top foot. Top hand now reaches towards the back foot and open into a twist. Good. You can apply a little pressure to the feet by pushing down with the hands. And just notice how that works your latissimus muscles there in your back, your triceps. Todo eso. Good. And then I'm just going to hug my two legs underneath me once again and push up. This time, the blanket is going to be a little prop for my head. And we're going to try first just putting your forearms into the floor. So we're working towards a headstand. Everybody can remember that your headstand is yours. How you work on it is up to you. So you may just want to come here, press the hands into the floor, work on lifting your elbows up and feeling that firmness through the deltoids and the triceps. You could then work on interlacing the fingers, pressing the outer edges of the hands down. Curl your toes underneath you, lift the hips up high, and then let the head come down. And then let the 2 feet float up. Good. You may find you can push down through the arms and lift the legs. You may be able to maintain that connection as you lower the knees and let the feet return to the floor. Maybe walk your hands out, let the back arch in just a little. And from there, curl the toes underneath you, lift the hips up, walk the hands back, back, back. Good. And let that neck really hang here. Good. So now, looking up once again where your hands are, bend the knees and let the pelvis come to the floor. So we're trying a few poses here to stretch the backs of the legs, the hips, and then work on your core. So start with 2 knees bent and then interlace the fingers. Bring the arms up. You can twist to the right, twist to the left. Inhale, bring your hands now to the back of the right foot and extend up. Good. So I'm going to press the ball of my foot into my hands and really extend the heel. Good. And then notice where my weight is right to left. Try to keep the weight even in my 2 sits bones. Good. And then I'm going to fold in. So let the ankle now move to the opposite muslo, tobillo a tu muslo. Stretch over this hip. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Good. And then from here, take the 2 arms up. Exhale, float back. Start to feel the core engage and then extend the bottom leg. Breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the bottom leg down. Palms under your shoulders. Exhale, lift the hips and breathe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it all down gently. Extend the 2 legs and we'll sit right back up. Interlace the fingers, palms up, twist and twist. Good. Feel yourself sit tall as you twist. And then we're going to exhale, take the hands here to the outside of the left foot, lift, reach through the heel so you really feel a deep stretch in the pantorrilla in your calf. with that connection into the ball of the foot. Open up that muscle. Beautiful. And then from here, let's exhale, set the ankle. So your tobillo into muslo, brazos y manos arriba. Take the arms up. And then we're going to move the sternum forward. So this will really stretch the outside of the hip. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let the palms now stay together. Press the palms in, pull the belly deep. Exhale, extend the bottom leg. Now slowly set the leg down. Sit yourself tall. Bring the palms under your shoulders. Exhale, lift the pelvis. Couple breaths. And we'll set it down gently. Extend the top leg. 2 hands, 2 feet. Big breath. Paschimottanasana. Let the head go so the back of the neck really releases. Good. Inhale, coming up. Let's tip the weight back in the sits bones and just hold for a moment. 2 knees bent, arms up. Create a twist now. Reach to the right or whichever way. Inhale back through the center. Exhale, reach the opposite way. Inhale back into the center. Exhale, extend arms and legs. Breathe. Slowly set the legs down. Take the palms back behind you. Open the chest. And then we're going to place the palms deep into the floor. Lift the pelvis up. Take the toes to the floor. Breathe. Bending the knees. And from here, I'm going to take this. Well, the blanket actually can stay right where it is. I take the hands behind my thighs and move my weight back. Good. So now my arms are going to press firm into the floor. And I'll extend my toes overhead. Good. So the toes are going to come and perhaps rest on the floor for a moment in a Halasana. You may now want to walk your shoulder blades a little more together. Press the arm bones more deeply into the floor. Perhaps take the hands to the hips. Bend in the knees. And then bring the knees up over the hips. Exhale, extend the 2 legs. Good. So just breathe here for a moment, working on making your thighs vertical and a lot of space, mucho espacio en los pies. So a lot of space in the feet. Y ahora puedes poner las palmas en la base de las costillas. So you could try to take your palms to the base of your rib cage and then move the thighs back. Vamos a mover los muslos atrás. So you're not putting any uncomfortable pressure on your neck. From here, you can bend the knees, return them to a Halasana, to a plow pose. Perhaps even bend the knees here. And then exhale, release the pelvis down. Doblamos las rodillas, you'll bend the knees. Heels in line with the sit bones, pelvis coming up. Press the fingertips into the floor. Good. So feel that again, awake to the backs, to the triceps. And then exhale, we're going to release that down. Spread the fingers back behind you. And we'll push through the feet. Perhaps come onto the back of the head or top of the head. And then push through the arms to lift one more time. Take some full breaths. And then when you feel ready, lowering down slowly with control. You can take your wrists. I like to place them now on my rib cage. And open. Take my right leg over the left, cruzando, and then the gaze over to the right. Muy bien, vamos a cambiar la cruce de las piernas. We'll change the cross of the legs. Let the legs viajar hacia la derecha y la vista hacia la izquierda. So now you'll move your gaze to the left. Good. Vamos a empujar por los pies otra vez. So push through the feet once again. Let the soles of the feet now push into one another. And maybe for a moment, walk your shoulder blades just a little more under your back. And then let the rib cage melt down. The chest, heart, and lungs just release. Quizás puedes cerrar los ojos. Maybe you can just even for 5 breaths, close your eyes. Maybe lengthening out your legs. And then take a full deep breath. Hold that inhale for a moment. La inhalación. Y ahora podemos relajar. And exhale, expirando profundamente. Dos or tres más respiraciones completas para ti, so take just a couple more complete breaths for you. Y desde aquí estiramos. Stretch your arms al lado de las orejas. Dedos de la mano, dedos del pie. And then we're going to turn to one side. Giramos un lado, empujamos arriba. And we will bring our palmas juntas. Cerrando los ojos, closing the eyes. Bajando la cabeza, lowering the head. Tu energía, tu presencia, tu práctica. Estos son regalos. These things are gifts. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day y namaste.